You're watching Big Fight, and I'm going to go straight to Washington, D.C., where Sebastian Gorka is joining us. He is former Deputy Assistant to the President of the United States. Mr. Gorka, I appreciate your time. Many pollsters had predicted it to be a close contest, and results are certainly unexpected. But as someone who closely watched it, was involved in the campaign, what do you think are the factors that worked for President Trump?
On top of that, the disastrous state of the economy, the inflation, the price of petrol, the fact that when we were in the White House, the average monthly payment for a house mortgage was $800. Under the Harris-Biden administration, the average mortgage payment is more than twice that. It is $1,700. Maybe the fact that Kamala Harris, the border czar, let more than 20 million illegals into this country, many of whom are criminals and who have taken over cities like Aurora, Colorado. And I think the most important thing of all is people who love America don't like being called garbage by the incumbent president, Joe Biden. They don't like being called fascists, as Kamala did, and they've had it with left-wing radical extremism that is today's Democrat Party. But the list, I could go on and on and on. The list is a very long one.
Absolutely. Dr. Gorka, the world has been certainly taken by surprise by what will be at the moment seen as total dominance of Republicans. Do you think then the new administration will be focusing on the bread and butter issues like what Donald Trump promised during his campaign, or will it, because during his victory speech, Donald Trump did sound very, very conciliatory. He was sounding and spoke about being this healer.
It's about saving the country. This isn't about feel-good moments. It's about saving the country and stabilizing the world. I mean, think about it. When we were in the White House, when President Trump was the commander-in-chief, there were no new wars. China was behaving herself. Russia wasn't invading her neighbors. The Iranian proxies weren't murdering hundreds of Jews. The world was on fire for the last 4 years. So it's about everything. It's about bread and butter issues, geopolitics. It's about stopping the invasion of illegal aliens across our borders. It's about doing what the president promised he would do, exactly as he did in the first 4 years, that it's time to take America back. It's time to stop the insanity. I mean, the idea, for example, that you had Kamala Harris talk about, transgender surgery paid by taxpayers for prisoners. This just, I mean, they're insane. They're a party of lunatics. It's about everything. It's about protecting our country. It's about implementing our national interests. And also it's about preventing World War III. I mean, we were on the cusp of World War III for the last 3 years because of the sheer rank incompetence of the Harris-Biden administration. So to answer your question, it's all of the above.
Okay, do you foresee any opportunities for bipartisan cooperation under Trump's presidency, or will this partisan divide persist?
There will be no bipartisanship. I mean, listen to what the Democrats have been saying for the last 3 days. The chief architect of the theft of the 2020 election, Mark Elias, is holding a war council next week for the whole week with dozens of radical organizations to initiate a new lawfare campaign against President Trump to prevent him from exercising the mandate given to him by the American people. This is being reported in the mainstream media. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that darling of the Democrats in Congress, just released a video yesterday about the fascist threat of President Trump. They're doubling down. I mean, CNN had guests on their show yesterday saying, yes, black men voted for Trump because they're misogynists, because they hate women like Kamala. I mean, these people have learned nothing from President Trump winning both the Electoral College and the popular vote on Tuesday night. As a result, there will be no bipartisanship from the left because they're an anti-American lunatic cult you cannot work with. And thankfully, we will have enough seats in the Senate and likely the House that President Trump can actually execute the double mandate he has been given by the American people.
Yes, you have interestingly highlighted this double mandate. It's about popularity vote as much as the Electoral College. But how do you think Donald Trump's victory affect U.S. relations with international partners and adversaries, particularly in regions like the Middle East and Asia?
It'll be exactly what we did when we were in the White House the first time. I stole a phrase from the Marine Corps where I'd been teaching for several years before I came into the White House to explain what President Trump is doing and will do again. And the phrase is, under Trump administration, America, no better friend, no worse enemy. If you're a bad guy, if you're evil, like Xi, like Putin, like the mullahs, things are not going to be good for you for the next 4 years. If you're a friend of America, if you're Israel, if you're the UK, if you're India, you're going to have your friend supporting you again, and you will be safe. It's really that simple.
Okay. Dr. Gorka, in terms of policy areas, do you think Donald Trump will prioritize in the second term, and how will he be going all out to address the pressing issues like the economy, inflation?
Well, he's going to bring in incredible geniuses like Elon Musk to slash the size of this gargantuan bloated government. So the man who's revitalized car manufacturing, space travel, truly a genius level entrepreneur, that man will be given a portfolio to get government off the back of the average American. So that's where it's going to begin. We're going to seal the border on day one. The president is going to drill, baby, drill. He's going to release that liquid gold, as he calls it, under our feet, because energy is the lifeblood of any economy. So none of this stuff, I mean, you don't have to ask me. Just listen to his speeches. I think he did 250 rallies in this year, and he's told us exactly what he's going to do. He's going to unleash the American economy, shrink the size of government, rebuild our armed forces, secure the border, ban the lunacy of transgenderism, and protect Americans so we can prosper and thrive again. He's done it before. He's going to do it again.
Okay. My last question to you. Among the many historic firsts about in this victory is that he is also the oldest president to win White House. How do you see age as a factor?
It isn't. Anybody who brings this up is stupid. I mean, this is the mainstream media's idiocy. Age isn't a function. I know very, very, very young 90-year-olds. I know 60-year-olds who are decrepit and mentally not there. I am 25 years younger than my former boss. I can't keep up with him. This is a man who would do 4 or 5 rallies in one day. When I was in the White House and the president was tweeting at 3 a.m., I was asked frequently, hey, that's you, Seb, right? You're writing those tweets for the president. And I said, no, I need my sleep. This man is unique. The genetics of Donald Trump, our new president, our former president, our future president, I mean, God broke the mold when they made Donald Trump because he's a force of nature. I mean, his last rally before the election, it was his 4th rally or 5th rally in the day, and he finished it at 2 a.m. when I was with him in Mar-a-Lago for the election night watch party. He hadn't slept for 3 days straight. So if anybody brings up age, they're cretins, they're clinical imbeciles. This man is indefatigable.
All right, Sebastian Gorka, pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of The Big Five.